I'm muted, of course. Okay, I'm back. Of course. This always happens to me. I'm not muted anymore. Hello, welcome to the Coding Train. It is me, Dan, on a Monday. I think it's Monday at least. But I had this very spicy lunch. This is what I was talking about a second ago before I realized I was muted. And my head is like a little bit in the clouds right now. Yes, everybody in the chat is saying no audio, but shortly you're going to catch up to me. I have something to say. I'm very worried about this live stream today. So if you happen to tune in on Friday, you might recall that the stream froze. The computer would freeze. I had to restart a bunch of times. And so I tried to do a few things on the computer. For example, it's not this computer, by the way. So this laptop here is not the machine that is the problem. The machine that is the problem is, how can I show this to you? This is going to be very awkward. Let's try this. Yes, sure. Okay. The machine that is the problem is this one on the floor over there. It is affectionately known as, it doesn't have an affectionate name. It's a Mac Pro. It looks like a little trash can. It has served me well over the years. But recently it started to overheat, I believe. So I did something which is called to reset. I didn't know about this. Thank you to Austin. Reset Mac SMC. So I tried to do this. Also, this microphone is in like a weird place. Oh, jeez Louise. Everything is going wrong today. So I did this. I also upgraded the machine to Mojave because why not? Wiped some stuff off the machine, and as you can see, I am live streaming from that machine, and it has not crashed yet. But I wish I had pressed the button start streaming just like 5 minutes earlier because the machine started beeping. So it does this weird beeping. I've never heard it. I wish I had recorded this, but it sounds a little like this. Beep, 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 beep. I have never heard a Mac computer do this before. It does it, and then it just stops. And then I thought maybe then it would freeze. I don't know. So if anybody has any idea what that could possibly be, please let me know. I did install some monitoring stuff, and for example, it does say the CPU is currently 148 degrees. That's, I believe, in Fahrenheit. And does it tell me like a GPU temperature somewhere here? System, I don't know, I installed something. I think some people recommend some other things that might even be better. Activity monitor. So I don't know. We're going to go. Patrick in the chat writes, won't help. If it's overheating, it's likely a hardware issue dust. I was hoping that maybe it was like an issue with the fan, but like somehow like it didn't know how to turn the fan on and off properly, and upgrading would fix that in my fantasies. So anyway, I'm here. I am going to do this live stream today up until the moment the computer crashes. If it does not crash, great. If it does crash, I might come back just to say that the machine crashed. But then I think if it does crash, I'm going to spend the rest of my time trying to find a different computer today. So I'm sorry to go on and on about this. I keep looking over to see if I'm still live. Let me check the Slack channel. And yeah. All right, so welcome to the Coding Train. What you are about to watch today is a person, me, do some coding tutorials. And today's topic will be decentralized social networks like Mastodon and making a bot for them. I'm kind of trying to use the soundboard again. It's been a while. All right, so I'm going to jump right into this. I've got to situate myself here first. which is to go to this YouTube channel called The Coding Train, go to playlists, created playlists. I think I'm looking for session 6, 5, 4. There we go. This is not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Setting up a Twitter. All right, so what I am going to do today is, does the new machine have to be a Mac? No, it doesn't have to be a Mac. It has to be a machine that I can use that will do all the things that I need. Notably, take inputs from multiple cameras, from the laptop, HDMI out, audio inputs, and it will stream and run Open Broadcast Studio. That's all that the machine needs to do. And you know, so far it's kind of working. Ask Louis Rossmann about the Mac stuff, says Jason. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to open up a few URLs. Join Mastodon is what I'm looking for here. This is the order. And then I need one more. What do I want? ActivityPub. And I also would like a Mastodon on GitHub, which is here. Okay. Okay. I need a marker. I need to make sure the whiteboard camera is working, which it is. And we shall begin. Josh is writing, probably not enough RAM for streaming. Maybe you're not referring to this. Oh yeah, I see. This computer has. This computer is, let me just give you all the specs here. It is a late 2013 Mac Pro. The processor is a 3.5 gigahertz 6-core Intel Xeon E5. It has 16 gigabytes of some sort of DDR3 1866 megahertz RAM. Its graphics card is an AMD FirePro D500 3072 megabytes. And I even have, right over here, I'm going to show you something remarkable. I thought would fix all my problems. We should use this today, though. I have this Blackmagic Design eGPU. This is an external GPU. Unfortunately, it only takes Thunderbolt 3, which is not a thing, apparently, I can use with that Mac Pro from late 2013. But I thought maybe if I used an external GPU, it would solve a lot of my problems. All right. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Hello. This is a first video in a new series about making a Mastodon bot. And you might be asking yourself, okay, what is Mastodon? Why are you making a Mastodon bot? And why should I care? I'm not really sure why you should care, but I'm going to try to answer those other questions and you yourself can decide. So this playlist is essentially a replacement for Session 4 Twitter API and bots with Node.js. So I'm going to not redo 15.1 and 15.2. If you have never used Node before or don't know what NPM is, you can go back and watch those two videos. But I'm going to start here basically with setting up a Twitter, setting up a Mastodon. And so what is Mastodon? Why are we here? So the Twitter API, which I used to create these set of tutorials, recently changed quite a bit. So it is much harder to sign up for a new account authorized for automation, making a bot that posts in an automatic way to Twitter. They also changed something about the API called the streaming API, the way you could connect to Twitter and listen for certain events. They changed the API and that is no longer available. So while I encourage you to still experiment with Twitter as a platform if you so like, if today is your first day wanting to learn some stuff about Node and social networking and making social networks and making a bot that posts, Mastodon is going to be a more pleasurable, easygoing experience for you that's going to allow you to express your creativity in a much more immediate way. And then there's another reason. It has to do with this idea called decentralization. So Twitter, I don't know if you noticed, is kind of an awful place to be for the most part. Anyway, I don't want to get too far down that discussion, but is there another way? Is there another way that we can communicate with each other in a less centralized, governed and owned by large corporations kind of way? And one way to do that is with a concept called decentralization. And Mastodon is an open source, I don't know, maybe I should go somewhere where it actually says what it is. Well, you can read it. Follow friends to discover new ones, publish anything you want, link pictures, text, video, all in a platform that is community owned and ad free. And note, this is not like some sort of sponsored video. I'm experimenting with this platform because it interests me. And maybe it'll interest you. It is an open source project. You can see it's on GitHub here, and the decentralization runs with a protocol called ActivityPub. So let me try to give you an understanding of what I mean by all this stuff. Okay, so what is Twitter ultimately? Just give me a second here. I had a little coughing fit here. What is Twitter? I don't know if anyone should really answer that question, but I will give you a little framework. So Twitter is a company. They run probably a lot of servers. You can be sitting on your laptop or your phone. That's a phone apparently, and you could sign up for an account on Twitter. You could give yourself a Twitter username like @Schiffman. And then you could post messages like the heart emoji, and you can read other messages that other people are sending into Twitter. This is what you would refer to as a centralized platform. The software that runs Twitter is on a particular server. It's proprietary. The way Twitter is governed and what certain posts are allowed and aren't allowed are all run by this same company, and all of your data, all of the tweets you've ever posted, all of your user information, your password stuff, all of that is stored on this centralized server. The web, in its origins, if you go back and look at the history of the web, it didn't really start as this idea of a centralized platform. The web didn't start with this idea of a centralized platform. The idea was many different nodes all interconnected, being able to share and publish with each other. And so this is slowly entering the zeitgeist now, this idea of decentralized platforms. Probably, if you're not familiar with that, you're probably familiar with something called Bitcoin, right? Which runs on something called blockchain, which is a protocol for decentralized financial transactions, which I am not going to make any videos about, at least anytime soon. But Mastodon is a open source, decentralized social network. I'm having so much trouble saying that word. Do you like trains? Mastodon is an open source, decentralized social network. And it probably resembles Twitter the most, but there's some nuance to that. So how is it different? How does it work? Well, number one is there is no single server. For example, I have actually set up my own server known as an instance. And I'm not going to show you in this series how to set up your own Mastodon instance, but if that's of interest, I certainly can provide some resources to do that, and I could do a video about setting one up. My instance is at a particular domain, choochoo.space. This is my Mastodon instance, so we'll call it choochoo. There are other Mastodon instances. For example, mastodon.social. There is also, let me erase some of this stuff here. Choochoo, mastodon.social. There are some other ones that I have seen. For example, there is viz.social, which is an instance for people interested in data visualization, I presume. There is another instance called bots_in.space, which I'm going to use in this series to make a bot that runs on this bots in space. So the idea here is I've set up this instance. Let's say you want to sign up for an account with this particular instance. I'll show it to you in a second. You would go there and you would sign up. And so my username, I'm a client, my picture of my laptop over here, which is strangely at some weird, bizarre angle. I am Schiffman at choochoo.space. So this is my local Mastodon instance. When I want to sign on, when I want to post something, I post it, I sign on through this server, I post it through this server, my account is with this server. But there is this concept called federation. Sounds like something out of Star Trek, and it kind of is, which federation, and I know I'm kind of getting close to writing off the top, is a way for all of these instances to communicate with each other in a decentralized fashion. So if I post something saying like, hello, I ate oatmeal for breakfast this morning, this post that I make through here will get propagated throughout the entire network of Mastodon instances. So there is both, when you're browsing Mastodon, there's both this idea of a local timeline as well as a federated, or you could think of it as global timeline. And I'll show you this in a second. I could browse and just look at all the posts. I think they're called toots. All the toots for people who are at this instance, or all the toots from people all throughout the federated universe of instances. By the way, the protocol that is used for all of this, for all the communication to propagate throughout the network, did I mention this already? It's called ActivityPub. So the software that runs a particular server is completely open source. It took me a while to get it up and running, but I have it up and running here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my account here. I'm going to show you Bots in Space, which is an instance designed for people who want to make bots. I'm going to sign up and create a bot on Bots in Space and interact with it here, and then just show you how the global network of stuff works. So the only prerequisites really for you going to the next video is to have Node installed on your computer. And you can go back and watch my two sort of intro to Node for Twitter bots videos, and the same concepts there will apply, although I'm going to use different Node packages. What else do I want to say about this? Yeah, okay. Coming back over here. Okay, so this is the GitHub repository where the open source Mastodon project is. I encourage you to check that out. This is some more information about ActivityPub, which is the protocol for decentralized social networking. Lots of other services also use ActivityPub. There are, this idea of the decentralized web is not limited to Mastodon. One simple example of that. And then here, now you can see, whoops. Here is my Mastodon instance. You can see that if I go to choochoo.space, I am there. It looks like I am on some kind of social network thing where I can say, hey, I am live on YouTube right now. And I can make a little train and a little, I know you're just gonna have to watch me do this. I have to pick my emojis very carefully and thoughtfully. A rainbow, is there any like clouds or anything? No, I don't know. Okay, that'll be enough. Then I'm gonna post that. You can see there it is. And it is there on the local timeline. So this is the local timeline. You can see Kay Weekman there. Look, Ma, I'm on the live stream. Now here's the thing. Because my instance is something I just set up, and it's running off of a DigitalOcean server. It's like $10 a month. It's like 2 gigabytes of RAM. I just signed up for it. DigitalOcean is a hosting provider. Not a sponsor, but could be. Hey, DigitalOcean, you're listening. I'm not, the signups are not open. So to get an invite code to sign up on the Choochoo Space instance, you can be, if you're a member of the YouTube channel or a patron of the channel, you can sign up there. But just, I don't want to mention that. Let me go back. Mathieu, who will be watching this later, I don't want to go on and on. I don't want to mention the patron membership stuff during that's important for the live stream context, but because I might open it up later. So let me just kind of re-say what I was saying before. I'm afraid to go to the global timeline, but maybe I will. Let me just quickly peek. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay, let me go back. What was I saying? You could see the, I don't know where I was. I'm just going to do that whole little section again. Sorry for the live people who this will be annoying to. Okay, so here we are, and what I can do now is first of all, let me just show you a couple links, which will all be in this video's description. This is the GitHub open source repository for the Mastodon software that I'm running currently on my server. Over here, I think I mentioned this. Did I show? I'm so confused. Did I show? Help me out for a second in the chat. Did I show these earlier? Like, I'm confused because I tried to do this video last week and then I got messed up. Did I already earlier today show the GitHub repository and this page, and I'm now repeating myself? Like when I was doing my intro that I went to the whiteboard. Does anybody remember? Let me know in the Slack channel or here. Oh, I made that DigitalOcean joke. I might have to make that again because they could be a sponsor for real. Yes, one of the first things. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to like come over here to my instance. Whoops. No. You showed Activity Hub, but not the repo. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm not going to show Activity Hub again. So I'll just come over here. Okay. Oh, welcome new member, Nico Finkernaji. And please, the first thing you should do is tell me how to pronounce your name. And you can go and check the community tab, and there's a link there with an invite code to join this Mastodon instance if you're so interested. Okay, thank you everybody for the comments. All right. Okay, so now we're over here. This is the joinmastodon.org website. You can find out a lot of information. I would encourage you to click on this how it works, what is Mastodon video, which is on YouTube, which will explain all that much better than I did. Get started. You can find an instance that you might like to join. This is the GitHub open source repository with the software that's running. Now, here is my instance. The choo-choo, and people are notifying me and saying hi. And look, Kay Weekman says, look, Ma, I'm on the live stream. Okay, excellent. Please use caution when posting now. So this is what it looks like. You can see it looks like some other social network service that you might sign up for. The difference is I am actually running the software for it on my own server. This is a server I happen to sign up through DigitalOcean, which is a web hosting company that is not a sponsor, but could be a sponsor. Hello, DigitalOcean. And you could set up your own. But here's what I'm going to do. You can look at other instances, like bots in space. This is the instance, and you could sign up. In the next video, I'm actually going to sign up for an account here so I can make a bot that posts on it. You can see here's some bots already that are posting things. The cyber painting Beardemeyer in the North Pole inspired by Hubert Robert. Okay. The sequel is here. Get ready for guards to define. I don't know what. Please have a tree picture. This is a tree bot. Come on. Oh, let's make a tree bot. It's going to be so nice. So again, these are things that you can do on other services, but Mastodon being open source, it's a really friendly and easy place to get started with in terms of the API, which I'm sure will rapidly change, and who knows how quickly this video will go out of date, but that's the current spot. So if you want to sign up for an account before the next video, I'm going to do it in the next video. I would recommend Bots in Space for a bot account. And then you can also go, I'm just going to open a new incognito window. Actually, you know what? I don't have to. This is one of the things that I like. You can be logged in multiple Mastodon accounts. So if I go here, get started, you can see here are a whole bunch of servers. So like, for example, I am a musician and I speak Deutsch. Then we can see here are some Mastodon instances that I might want to sign up for. So let's find one for the coding train besides choo-choo.space. I am a gamer, developer, should we say developer? I don't know. I guess that's the closest. I don't think I'm a developer. And I speak English. And we can see here are some ones. Let's just cut that whole extra part here because I don't know what is going on. Okay. Thank you very much. So if you want to sign up for a Mastodon account, not on ChooChoo.space or Bots in Space, a new one for yourself, you can go to joinmastodon.org and you can go look here. You can look for something like, oh, you're an artist, yes, and you speak English. Oh, viz.social, there we go. A social space for anyone in data, visualization, creative coding, etc. And now you can see this is viz.social and you could sign up here. Now, once again, even if you sign up at a certain instance, that's just your name and address and your local instance. But through federation, through ActivityPub, through decentralization, you are still participating in the broader world that is Mastodon. Okay, so what's going to happen next? In the next video, I'm going to sign up for a Bots in Space account. I'm going to show you how to get your API keys. I'm going to write a little node program that toots to it automatically. And then I'm going to show you lots more ways and things and how the API works and different ways to post images and replies and favorite things and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this exploration of the open source project Mastodon, and I look forward to hearing what you think in the comments. Amr is writing, his hair is darker than I remember. Is it my hair? I got a haircut. Nobody noticed my haircut. I went to a very nice barbershop over the weekend in Prospect Heights, Brooklyn. And I had a lovely experience with a lovely barber. Talked my ear off. My ear is still on. It was very nice. Okay. Any questions? Did that, like, for those of you who have never heard of Mastodon or decentralization before today, did you get something from that? Was that helpful, interesting, useful? I can't believe this hasn't crashed yet. I almost want it to crash because I feel like it's just on the edge of crashing all the time. Okay. All right, so let me get set up here for the next piece of this. I have a lot more space I could work with here. Yeah. So we're going to go to ChooChoo.space and botsin.space. I think I can close these things out. Make that a little bit bigger. Make this a little bit bigger. Local timeline. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I am ready now to get started. Oh, I need to have iTerm. And let's go to desktop, make directory Mastodon bot. Okay. Oh, another new member. This is so nice of all of you. Andras Yermati. Where are you from, I wonder, Andras? Thank you for joining. Okay. So let me just, for the live stream, for anybody who's watching right now, if you go to ChooChoo.space, you're going to see this message. Sign up on another server. Registrations are reserved for Coding Train YouTube members and patrons. I'm doing this not because I want to have a closed thing. I mean, it might make sense for this to be a member benefit. I don't know. Mostly I'm doing this because I just set the instance up. And again, it's on a DigitalOcean server. I just picked a droplet. I didn't pick the $5 a month. I picked the $10 a month to give me a little bit more juice. But I'm not sure about the sustainability of this and what it's going to cost. So at the moment, you can certainly participate and communicate on Mastodon through the fact that it's decentralized, but you'll want to sign up with a personal account somewhere else or join the YouTube channel. And then you'll get an invite code, and maybe I'll open this up later. As well as, and look, we got 22 users so far. And then as well as Bots in Space, which is open. It's currently an open one. You'll notice that the main one, mastodon.social, for example, also is registration on the server currently closed due to high demand. Please sign up on mastodon.cloud instead. So I don't know, I think that, what I like about Mastodon is that there are these instances, these little subgroups within the larger universe. So affinity groups maybe in a way. So I do like the idea of opening up choo-choo.space, but also you might find one that's, maybe Coding Train is not your sole purpose in life. And you might find a different space that's well suited to you. Okay, which isn't to say that joining the, anyway, okay. All right. Okay, people are really sending me crazy stuff right now. How did you do that? All right, this is really funny what's going on. So far, I don't mind, though I don't mind this at all. In fact, I rather enjoy it, but please use discretion. Don't ruin my video with nonsense. Okay. All right, so, hi, thank you, Marius, for your nice comment. Okay. So I'm back here. I'm going to go here. Okay. Okay, we're back for another Mastodon video. And in this video, I'm going to sign up for a botsin.space account. Bots in space. I feel like I need some space music. Hold on. This is going to be totally worth it. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Okay. And that didn't stop. Oh, because it fades out over 5 seconds. Okay. How come I can't hear that? Oh boy, now I can really hear that. And crazy feedback. Oh, hold on. You know what I need to do is I need to mute this. Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Hello, welcome to the second Mastodon video. In the first video, I talked a bit about what Mastodon is, or at least my impressions of it, the idea of decentralization. And in this video, the reason why I'm doing this is that I want to find a platform to write crazy, weird, experimental, avant-garde art bots. And so I'm going to use this platform, Bots in Space. It sounded this was gonna, this idea seemed better when I thought of playing this music and the way it turned out. But so the first thing I'm going to want to do is sign up for an account here with Bots in Space, and I'm going to say sign up with Coding Train Bot, and I am going to use the email address daniel@thecodingtrain.com. I'm going to use the password. Ooh, suggested password. I don't think I should use this because then you will all see it. I'm going to use the password I love blueberries or heart rainbow. Sure, you'll all be able to guess my password really easily. What is this nonsense? Go away. A message with confirmation link has been sent to your email address. Hold on a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I am now going to attempt to I didn't get an email. Is it in my spam? It's not in my spam. Although I did get some private messages from some nice people in my spam. Oh, this is such a fail. Ah, okay. Oh, it came through. So my confirmation came through. Matthew, you can edit this stuff out, I guess. Verify email address. Ah, my email address has been verified. Okay, I got the email. I verified my email address. I should be able to log in now. Coding Train Bot. If I could remember what my password is. I'll log in. Oh no, that's not the password. Oh no, wait. Oh, I have to use my email. Daniel. Oh, great. Thanks for showing all my emails here. autofill, whatever. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I click the verify my email. I have now put in my username and password. I'm going to click login. And now, welcome to Mastodon. I'm going to save this, just why not? This is my full handle, @CodingTrainBot, @bots in space. I'm going to skip through this little tutorial here. But first thing I'm going to do, very important, is I'm going to go to Edit Profile. And I'm just going to go down here. And I would want to put other stuff here, and maybe I'll do that eventually. But I want to go here and I want to click, this is a bot account. Because one of the nice things about Mastodon, it has a feature for you to indicate that a particular account is a bot, which is, a really nice thing to do in terms of transparency. Okay, the other thing that I want to do is I want to go down under development. So I'm going to hit Save Changes. We're down here in the bottom, there's a little option under development. I'm going to want to click that. And I want to create a new application. So I'm going to create a new application. It is Coding Train Example Bot. The website will just be thecodingtrain.com. What do I want to be able to do? So you have a lot of options in terms of what permissions you can give your bot. Like maybe the bot can only read certain things or only write certain things. But I'm actually going to keep the red sort of global write checked and the red global read checked so that everything, and follow. So this bot can basically do everything. It can read all the posts, it can write as many posts at once, and it can follow. So I'm going to hit submit, and then I'm going to click here. And now the thing is, this is stuff that I really do not want to share with anybody. So at some point I'm going to regenerate this, which I'm going to do right now. I'm actually going to, here I am back. I'm going to regenerate that access token. So, and I don't really mind if who's going to be able to like type this quick enough and hack my bot, but here I come back. But this is not something you want to share. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now, where am I? Oh, okay, you're going to see it again. Now you saw it again. Whatever, I failed. Hold on, let me go back. Let me do that again. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just turn the screen off. No, that's me. I'm going to quickly turn the screen off. There we go. I'm going to regenerate that access token. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to copy this stuff somewhere secret. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to go back to Mastodon. Then I'm going to put the screen back. There I am. So that you can't hack my bot at this moment. All right. So what's next? There's a lot of different ways you could write a Mastodon bot. I'm sure you could come up with some way that I can't even think of right now. I'm going to use Node.js, which is a JavaScript framework for executing JavaScript code. And I am going to do all of this from the command line. So you're going to want to have Node installed, and you're going to want to have some shell access to your computer to be able to do this. And I'll link to different workflow videos about how to get that stuff set up if you don't have that already. So what I'm going to do is I'm in a directory. I'm on Coding Train Desktop Mastodon Bot. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to type npm init. What this does is it starts up my Node project. This is going to create a package.json file, which has all the configuration information for my Node project. I could just manually make that file or copy it from another project, but it's nice that this tool will step me through it. So package name Mastodon bot sounds good. This is version, 0.0.1. The description is example code for Mastodon bot on Coding Train. Entry point, I'm going to have a file called bot.js. I'm not going to worry about testing right now. I don't have a Git repository. Bot, Mastodon, education will be some keywords. The author is me. I guess license will be MIT, and this all looks good to me. So now, if I open this up in Visual Studio Code, we can see it has created a package.json file with all of that information in it that I just typed. Okay, pause for a second. Okay. I feel like this is a little bit big. Actually, I like that that's bigger, and then now I can go to preferences and change this and go here. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is create my JavaScript file that is going to run the bot. So I'm just going to click New File, and I'm going to say bot.js. And just to test things out, I'm going to say console.log mastodon bot starting ... So this is where all of my code for the bot is going to go. And the very first thing that I'm going to do is just test this code by executing it. And the way that I do that is going back to terminal. And by the way, yes, oops. It's not the right command. How do I do that? No? Yeah, there we go. And by the way, yes, there is actually a terminal directly in Visual Code Studio, and I could actually just run it right here by saying like node bot.js. And maybe I should do that. This is so tiny though. I don't know why. I'm just not used to using this terminal yet. So I'm going to stick with using a separate iterm. And I'm going to run node bot.js. And we can see all it's doing is console logging that Mastodon bot starting. OK, how am I going to connect to Mastodon? So in order to do this, I'm going to use a node package that will communicate with the Mastodon API directly. So let's find that. Sure, let's look at notifications. Let's node Mastodon API. And let's see. So what comes up? Mastodon-API npm. This one looks pretty good. Let's go over to GitHub and see. All right, so this is actually the one. This is the one that I'm going to choose to use. It was last updated 8 days ago. I've used this before in making a practice example. So this one is going to work fine for me. And so now the next thing that I need to do is I need to run npm install. Because if I'm going to use this package to communicate with my bot, I need to make sure I have it installed. So this npm install -- save Mastodon API. And yes, I could use Yarn, which is another package manager for Node, but I'm like an npm person. Whenever there's the thing that people are using instead of Yarn, that's when I'll use Yarn. npm install save. The -- save, by the way, is an argument so that it automatically gets added to the package.json file. And there we go. So if I go over here, we can see if I look in package.json, there is now also a dependency, Mastodon-API. So that is now a project dependency. And the first thing that I want to do to be able to use this is, and actually, documentation here. Documentation, people. Let's actually just go over to examples and click on streaming. And this is what I want. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, my goodness. All right, never mind. Hold on. I have my own examples. I think it's just require. You no longer have to use OK. Hold on a minute. Breaking news. Alka in the chat is telling me that you no longer have to use -- save. So maybe it adds it automatically whether or not you use -- save or not. That's a nice little extra tip for today. OK, what I want to do now is require it. And again, I'm using require. So I'm going to say const Mastodon equal, let's just call it const m maybe. No, I don't know. Mastodon equals require Mastodon -API. So I am now requiring it, which meaning that's basically I'm importing it. And then what I want to do is I want to connect. And there's a lot of ways that you can connect live in your code because maybe you're making an app and you want people to be able to authenticate with different accounts. I don't need to do any of that. I just want to do this. New constant m equals new Mastodon. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to need to put in my access token. I'm going to need, I'm not too worried about this. And I need to put in my particular instance, which is bots in space. So this is the, since I am now going to run my bot through bots in space, the API URL for making API queries is at botsin.space/API/v1. Now maybe someday there'll be a v2 of the API, a v3, but this should always work. And now I just need to get that access token, which I'm throwing caution to the wind. By the time you watch this video, the access token will have changed. But just to show you, I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go to settings. That's fine. I'm going to go to, where am I? Development, coding train example bot. I'm going to grab the access token. I'm going to paste it here. And then I think, I'm pretty sure I need also the client secret, which is this thing, and client key, which is this thing. And then now I should be all set and connected. So the next thing that I can do if I'm looking through this API, oh yeah, this is actually what I wanted to do. Yeah, is I can, so now, okay. Just pausing for a second because I'm seeing the chat. Typo and secret. Oh, I see that Suraj is in the chat. Hello, Suraj. And Petros. My son's middle name is Petros. I wrote secret. Okay, thank you. I'm being told that I wrote secret. So that should be secret. Thank you very much. All right. So here's the thing. We got to talk about something. There are three core ways to engage with the Mastodon API. Sad to erase my beautifully decentralized diagram. There are three ways to engage with the Mastodon API. And this is very similar to how Twitter used to work. And Twitter doesn't work this way anymore, but luckily for us, Mastodon does. There is the GET. A GET request is basically saying, hey, I would like to get a whole bunch of stuff. Like, get me this list of user accounts, get me this list of posts, toots, statuses, tweets, whatever you want to call them. Search for every toot that has the word mango in it. That's what GET is for. There is also POST. I really should have written these in all capital letters. POST is for posting something to Mastodon. Like, for example, I want to post a new status, or I want to follow, or favorite, or reblog something. All of those are posts. And then there is what is really the exciting thing, the streaming API. The streaming API is a way for you to essentially have almost like a socket connection, or like an attached connection to Mastodon where you're just listening for events. So every time somebody follows somebody, you'll get an event. Or every time somebody posts a status, you'll get an event. So this is what's really powerful in the way that you can kind of engage with the service in a real-time synchronous way. And unfortunately, this is a thing that Twitter recently removed from their API. And there's other ways to do the same exact thing, but it's a bit roundabout. Plus, good luck getting your bot approved from Twitter as something that you can use there. Okay. So in this video, to test the first idea out, I just want to do a post. So what I want to do is a post. Okay. So coming back over here, we can see this is what I have to do. Post with some path. Now, what is the path? So now we need to look up Mastodon API documentation. And we should be able to, on this page here, look under posts. And we can see, this is a post for following something, for blocking, unblocking, for muting. But I want to post a status. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. This is where it is. I want to post a new status. So remember, what is my API URL? It's this one. So ultimately, the endpoint that I want to go to is v1 statuses. But I don't do it here. The path I can put right here. Statuses. Then I need some parameters, and I'm going to put a callback, which I will use my fancy ES6 arrow syntax that I have covered in other videos. I'll come back to that in a second. So params, let's make that a separate variable. It's a JavaScript object. So these parameters, this is super important. What are the parameters? Well, we can go back to the API documentation, and we can look, here they are. I can say this is the status, the text that I want to pose. In reply to, well, is it in reply to somebody, an ID of a different status? Media IDs for images, all sorts of stuff here. Language, is it sensitive content? There's all sorts of things. But basically, I'm just going to say status choo. And there we go. Why did you format yourself like this? What kind of crazy indentation is that? This isn't right. I'm going to have to deal with that later. Okay, so now, and then in the callback, what do I get? It's probably like error first callbacks, I'm guessing. Error data, I'm going to do this. So let's just do, say like if error, console.error, and then otherwise, console.log data. Okay? So now, here we go. I have my code, right? I started the bot, I connected. Here's all my secret information, credit card number and social security number is embedded in there somewhere. Here's my status that I want to post, and there we go. And hopefully nobody's already hacked my account and posted stuff. So let's go look over here. Okay, wait, no, I'm in the wrong account. Where did I got to go to bots in space. And I got to go to my profile, which isn't anything yet. Somewhere it'll show up here. Where's my profile? Is this me? That's local? Who knows? Okay, let's run this code. Node bot.js. Okay, we got an error. Mastodon is not defined. Why is Mastodon not defined? Because I used a capital down here and I didn't use a capital up here. So this Mastodon importing the whole library is now a function that I can call to connect. So let's try this again. Ooh, that seemed to have worked, except it didn't console log anything. How do I tell if I, That didn't seem to work. Hold on, time out for a second. I did path of status, not statuses. Okay, so that didn't work. All right, so how am I going? That didn't seem to work. Thank you to Wilbur in the chat, who just told me that I actually put the wrong path here to the API. So if I go back to the API documentation, you can see the path, the endpoint is statuses plural. So let's try this one more time. Statuses. And now, let me run this again. Ah, look, and we can see we got all this metadata back because it was successful. If I go back here, if I go to bots in space, look at that. There we are. Choo-choo. Okay, we did it. We successfully made our first Mastodon bot that is posting just from the node directly to Mastodon. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to show you next. I would like to show you, number one, is how to effectively hide you can open source your bot, but still hide your client secret, client code, all that sort of stuff. So I want to show you that. And also, let's look at some of the other parameters for posting. I'm getting a lot of notifications. That sound you're hearing is the Mastodon notification. Where are we? How did it get to be 3:26? Jeez Louise. Oh no, but I started at 2:30. I thought I started at 2. Okay. I like this. All right, so I got to do a couple things. Number one, I'm sorry, all of you who like your 4 spaces of indentation, I don't know where that happened, how that got changed. Is it in my, where did that get changed? But I can't tolerate it. Where are these things? Oops, hold on. Setting is closer to the top. Okay. Font size. Ah, there we go. There we go. It just went right past it. Okay. You know, user settings. I want a user, everything. Okay. How come that doesn't, do I actually have to change something? No. No. What? Why? Why? Is it here? Oh, do I have to like I skipped, no, okay, you guys are behind me. Why, I can't continue. 2. This setting is overridden based on the file contents when editor detection is on. Oops. I want to turn that off then. Oh, I see, because that makes sense that you would have this editor detection. Hold on. Come on. 2. Where? I don't see auto surround. Is it because it like detected 4 space? And now if I take out all the 4 space, it can't detect it. And it will go back to 2. Spaces 4. Ah, how do I change this? How do I change that to 4? From to 2, look at that, 4. When you open the code file at the bottom right, you have to change it. No! Change view. Okay. Oh my God. Everything's okay now. Whew. Oh, that was rough. That was really bad. Okay. Okay. Woo! Woo! I'm sweating like crazy. All right. All right, everybody. Woo! Woo! All right. So there's a couple options. Okay, so I've never actually used .env, the .env package before. What I always do is, so I would make a .env file and then I would ignore it when okay, so let me try doing that. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, and actually, let me recycle the camera. All right. Okay. I am back. I'm going to do I made a Mastodon bot. All it did so far was tweet. Didn't tweet. It tooted. Toot, tweet. Blog, post, who knows what all this stuff is. All I know is that it said, choo-choo. So I would like to show you some more things to make the bot a little bit better before we move on and hopefully start making some actual interesting examples of different kinds of bots you might want to try to make. So the first thing that I want to do is actually, I don't want to have all of these secret keys and everything right here in my code because I'm going to upload this as an example for other people to use. I want to be able to hide that stuff away but still use it. And there's actually a wonderful node package. Thank you to Alka for the suggestion called .env. So I'm going to say npm install .env. Install this node package. And what this allows me to do is create environment variables for a particular project. And that way I can upload the code without the values of those environment variables, but anybody who's using that code could set their own values of those environment variables. So what I'm going to need to do is create a new file. I'm going to call it .env. So it's kind of like, as you can see it right here, it's like a hidden file, .env. It even has this crazy settings thing. And then in this, ooh, look, there's all these extensions I could use probably to like format it in all sorts of fancy ways, but I'm not going to be fancy. What I'm going to do, and I'm looking over here because thankfully Alka gave me some suggestions, I'm going to say things like auth token equals client secret equals, and I'm going to say client ID equals. I think those are my three things. So if they're in the code, client key is this. I'm going to put this back in here. Client key. OK, I guess client key is what I meant. Does it need to be in quotes? Maybe somebody can tell me. Maybe it shouldn't be in quotes, actually. I'm going to get the client secret. And then I'm going to go back to the env file and put that in here. Right now I'm using single quotes, which may or may not be correct. Then I'm going to go back to my code. I'm going to get the access token. And I'm going to call it access token just to be consistent with my naming. And now, if I do this, I can now go to my bot, and I can also say constant env equals require, and then I want to require .env. And then, wait, time out for a second. Require.env.config. Oh, and I need to config, OK. No quotes, OK. And sample one, yep. Yeah. OK, I will do that without quotes. OK. OK, actually, just for consistency's sake, maybe I'll make this capital letters. I don't know. Then I'm going to say, then I need to call env.config, which will load it. The chat thankfully helped me out that I do not want quotes here. These are just the values. And then I should be able to now, down here, somewhere, I should be able to say, process.env.client key. So this will now, is that right? Process.env, let me take a look. I have the documentation over here. Yeah, I think that's right. So I should be able to grab those environment variables. Whoops. Just like this. Then the client secret. Then I should be able to grab this one and say access token. Who knows if I've made some mistakes. But let's try running this now. Let's choo-choo. Choo-choo. Let's say choo-choo twice. And let's run this. All right, I think this might have worked. And we can see, oh, this is the wrong page again. Choo-choo, choo-choo. OK, we can see that worked. So all of this stuff is now hidden inside my environment file. And what I'm also going to do now is I'm going to make another file called .env sample. And then I'm going to copy this into there. Whoops. Except I don't know how to use this computer thingy. Hold on, let me do that again. I hate computers. What? Delete. Go away. Okay. I'm going to copy this into here. And then I'm going to take out all this stuff. I'm going to make, because eventually I'll put this on Git. I'm going to make a file called .gitignore, and then I'm going to say .env. So basically what I've done is I'm saying, hey, this is my file .env. That's my file that I'm only ever going to have locally on my computer. But when I publish this, I'm going to publish a sample one, which has information basically about what you need to put in there. And then I'm going to make sure that the actual .env file is not included if I ever check this into a Git repository, upload it on GitHub, so to speak. All right, let's make sure this works. Still working. We can go here, and I've said, okay, somebody definitely hacked my bot, so I'm going to read, which is great because I had my keys up on the screen. Well done, whoever you are. And I am going to take a break and regenerate my access keys so that nobody else can hack my bot, keep them hidden in my environment file, and then I am going to, before something bad happens, I'm going to just close out of this window, and I'm going to come back and show you more about writing Mastodon bots, and I'm going to show you this fun thing called spoiler text, and how to have the bot post to Mastodon periodically every so often. Okay, so see you in the next video. All right, so I am going to now go to choo-choo.space. No, bots in space. Oh, I can never remember which thing I'm at. I'm going to go to settings, development. Here we go. I'm going to say goodbye to the screen, everybody. I'm now going to regenerate my access token. The client key and client secret I don't think change. They're the same, so oh well. You all have those, but you cannot have my access token, which is a little unfortunate, actually. You know what? Maybe I should delete this one. I'm going to delete this one. Let me see if I can delete. I'm going to delete it and start over. Sorry that you can't see what I'm doing, because it's actually not so great for everybody to have the client secret and client ID, because you could still write a bot and then like authorize for the access token. So I'm just going to regenerate everything. I'm going to hit submit. And then I'm going to get those. Now I have all three new things. You can't see what I'm doing. Token, that was the client key actually. Client key, client secret. Sorry that I have to narrate this. And access token, save, close. Bring that back. And now let's just run this one more time. Great. All right, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed your time hacking my bot. Ah, shoot, it came up. I'm such a doofus. All right, one more time, everybody. All right, I'm the worst. I am the worst. Delete, it's all gone. New application, coding train example bot. Codingtrain.com, submit. Here we go. I got a new client key, everybody. New client key. Client key. Now I got a new client secret. Starts with F7. A new access token. And now I'm going to close both the .env file, and I'm also going to get out of that page. And I am going to bring this back up. Now I'm going to make sure it works. There we go. Go here. Now, there we go. All right. Now we should also do some stuff. Can I quickly, hold on a sec. Most people put the require. Okay, I will fix that. Thank you, Alka, for a comment about where to put the require. All right, so now let me just do something real quick. Where was I on bots in space? Login. What was it called? Coding train bot. Email address. Daniel@thecodingtrain.com. So I just want to add a header and stuff. And I have it on this computer, so sorry you can't see what I'm doing. Rainbow Oh, no, I'm signing up. Ah! Log in. Okay, and edit profile. I'm getting like a lot spammed here. Oh no, somebody's just favoring a lot of my statuses. I'm going to get an avatar here. Where can I find this? Here we go. I like the semicolon. All right. Okay, I can play around with the, oh, you know what? That's the, look at that crazy semicolon. Hold on, just gonna change this. There's a different semicolon I meant to use. This is very important. This is exactly what I need to be doing right now. Edit profile, just hold on. This is very, very important that I have the correct semicolon. There we go. That was not the correct semicolon character. That is the correct semicolon character. Thank you very much. Okay. Now. Okay. Okay, let me get back to the chat here. And here we go. Okay, cycle the camera. I've got about 45 minutes here, so we can keep going. All right, I'm back again. This is another video. I'm just continuing making this Mastodon bot. And I got some good tips. First of all, I did kind of like a goofy thing here. This .env package, it's, I guess, good practice or convention to just put it at the first thing. And I can just call .env.config. I don't need to save it in a variable. I can do this just in one line of code. So let me clean that up. That's a little bit nicer now. The other thing that I want to do is I want to make this bot post every so often. And so a quick way that I can do that is with the setInterval function. So, oh, you know what I should also do? Look at this. Let me show you something. So one thing that I often like to do, so if I run this right now, actually I just ran it, you can see this is all of the information that I get back when if this is the response from Mastodon after I have tooted. Awkward. I'm going to get... I'm way too self-aware of what people are going to like post in the comments. Poor Mathieu's editing. This is the response that I get after I post to Mastodon. So I get each toot has an ID, it has a timestamp, it has metadata about whether it's a reply to something, it has its content, you can see it's formatted with HTML. So what I actually would like to do is not just console log all of this JSON data to the console. I would like to just pick and choose a few things to console log out as kind of debugging information. And also something that I often like to do, just to kind of like help me with this kind of stuff, is use the built-in Node file system package. So I'm going to require file system. This is not a package I need to install. It just comes with Node, if it's, whatever version of Node you're using. And I'm actually going to say right here, I'm going to say file system dot write file sync, which is synchronous file writing. And then I'm going to say I want to write this data. Actually, the path is first. And then the thing that I want to write, which is probably JSON.stringify. I want to stringify the data. And I want it to have two space tabs. And then I need to write this file out. So I could just say data.json. And then if I run this again, we should see now all of a sudden I have a new JSON file that's appeared in my directory here. And I can look at it. And now if I want to kind of like figure out what's the data that I get back, I have this as a reference. So I can now, and I could timestamp the name of the file and all sorts of things like that, but I can now go and I can just comment this out. And now I could be more thoughtful about this, and I could say, console.log, success, ID, and then I could put, sorry, I need to go back here, and I could say it's data.id created at. So I would go back here, and I would say data.id plus data.created at. You know what? You know about, what's it called? What's the thing called? Template literals. My brain is not working today. It was working on Friday, and I had that spicy food for lunch, and it really did something to me. Is that what it's called? Template literals? JavaScript, yes. Actually, this is a good moment. I really should just do a separate video on this entirely because it's such a wonderful feature of JavaScript now. But I can actually, you know how I'm always doing this console logging, some text, and then some variable stuff, and I'm joining it with a plus and concatenation. You can use something called template literals, which is a way of embedding expressions inside of a string. And the way to do that is with, instead of quotes, with backticks. So if I put a backtick at the start and the beginning, I no longer need this plus. I'm gonna get rid of all this nonsense. Success, ID. I'm just gonna do ID and timestamp colon. And so now this is a string, and it has basically like I want ID. This is what I want to literally see, and then what I want to see is the value of this. And the way that I do that is with $, curly bracket, curly bracket. So now anything inside of here is an expression. So I could write 4 plus 7, and it would put 11 in the string, and then I can say timestampy. I can make this like this, and now we can run this again one more time. Node bot.js, and we can see this is what I get now, ID and timestamp. So this is what's I'm going to see, and maybe it'll be useful for me to also put the content there. Who knows what I want to log in console.log, but I want to be more thoughtful about that, not just spit out massive amounts of JSON data. Okay, let's get to the good part. Now, what I want to do as my first example of a bot is I want to make a random number bot. So I am going to say, I'm going to use template literals again. I'm going to say the meaning of life is, and then I'm going to use an expression. I'm going to say math.floor. Let me put this in a separate variable. Const num equals math.floor, math.random times 100. We'll see if we get 42. And then I'm going to just put that here. And now this, my bot should now post the meaning of life is this random number. So math.random gives me a random number, a floating point number between 0 and 1. I multiply that by 100, so I get a number between 0 and 100. I mean, technically the highest number is 99.99999. And then math.floor takes off the decimal point, so I now have a random number between 0 and 99. I could add 1 if I want between 1 and 100, whatever. That's not the point. The point is now, and you know what, I really would like to see from the console what it posted, so I'm also just going to do this. Console log data dot, what was it? Now I can go back to my data.json, and it's going to be, where is the content? Content, just data.content. So I'm going to say data.content. We're getting somewhere. So let's run this one more time. Success, the meaning of life is 95. Okay, did we get it? We can go here, we can double check, and somehow I went away from there. The meaning of life is 95. Great. Okay, now 2 more things I want to do. Make this bot exciting. I am now going to use set interval. So the idea here is this is all of my code to post to Mastodon. And again, if this is new to you, if you've just been watching my P5JS videos, this weird syntax, this arrow syntax, part of ES6 JavaScript, might be unfamiliar to you. I will put a link to a video where I describe what arrow syntax is in this video's description. Okay, so now what I want to do is all this stuff here is basically just a function called toot, right? Because what I want to do is this function will pick a random number, create the status, and post it. What I want to do is I want to say now set interval, and I want to do this toot every 5,000 milliseconds, which would be every 5 seconds. Now this is a bit extreme. This is not really appropriate bot etiquette to have a bot that posts every 5 seconds. So probably a much more thoughtful way of doing this, if you're going to have a bot that posts an automated way, maybe it's a word of the day or a haiku of the day, maybe it's just once a day, once an hour. Once an hour might be really the maximum there, but just to test it, I'm going to do it every 5 seconds. Burps. I'm like burping on a live stream. And I guess I can take this moment to thank PA7War. Welcome to as a new member. I'm going to run this every 5 seconds, which is reasonable just for testing. Something interesting though about set interval is like, what if I make this like every 50 seconds? If I run this right now, I gotta wait 50 seconds for it to do it the first time. So, and that's not really such a great thing. So I am going to actually also just call it once first and then do it every 5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Meaning of life is, whoa, it really picked 99? That is awesome. And it's 48. Oh, we're getting close to 42. We can see it's doing this every 5 seconds. I'm going to quit out of it. And I'm going to go back to here. We can see, there it is. These are my posts that I did. You can see 10 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago now. I mean, this is really 5 seconds ago. All right, so here's the thing. I want to show you. There's so much more. Remember how I made these parameters? All I'm doing is saying this is the status that I want to post automatically from my Node program. Well, one of the things that I can actually do is I can go back to the documentation. There are all these other things. So media IDs is something I really want to show you in a future video. It's a way I can include an image or other media with the post. But one thing that I can do that's kind of fun is just this spoiler text thing. So what spoiler text does, it allows me to have sort of two aspects to the post. The meaning of life is, and then the status can just be num. So I'm going to break this up into two parts, and I need a comma here, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like. So I'm using these parameters, different properties of the JavaScript object that's going to go here into my post call, and I'm going to now run this one more time, and I'm going to go back to my bot, and I'm going to look, and you can see, look at this. The meaning of life, but I now have this nice show more button. So spoiler alert, if you click on this, you'll see that it's 52 or that it's 23. And again, I'm doing this too often, so I'm going to absolutely quit this. And then if I wanted to do, now if I want to have my bot post once a day, every 24 hours, I can just go right back to my code and I can say set interval should be 24 hours. There's 60 minutes at 24 hours. 60 minutes an hour, 60 seconds an hour, and 1,000 milliseconds in a second. So now, here we go. We now have a bot, a Mastodon bot that will post a numeric meaning of life once a day. So in theory, if I just left this running here and never closed my laptop or never did anything, this would just run forever and once a day post. The truth of the matter is you're going to have to think about, well, once you've created your bot, like where are you going? Where's that bot going to live? I mean, you could have it live on your laptop or computer that's always plugged in and always connected to the internet, but more likely you're going to want to host it on a web server, on some sort of server, or maybe get a Raspberry Pi and plug it into the wall and have it always sitting there connected to the internet. I will cover that in future videos. In fact, I have covered that for how to deploy a Twitter bot, and ultimately it's exactly the same thing, but just now the code has changed and it's working with Mastodon. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bunch of other kinds of things you can do in bots, most notably Listen, the streaming API. Whoops. Most notably Listen, using the streaming API. So the streaming API is a way that I could connect and I could say, if anybody ever mentions me, I could reply to them. So I could have a bot that participates in a conversation. One thing you should really think about, and I'll talk about this again at the beginning of the next video, I mentioned bot etiquette, but if you really want to be thoughtful about making a bot that's not suddenly going to spam people. So it's not going to just pick random Mastodon users and start mentioning them, or start picking random posts and replying to them. You really want your bot to engage when people opt in to engage. So maybe you only want to post messages to people who have chosen to follow the bot or chosen to mention the bot already in a particular post. So I kept saying post because I haven't gotten comfortable. Just when I got comfortable saying tweet, I'm now no longer comfortable saying toot. But I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. Okay, see you in the next video. All right. Okay. How we doing, everybody? Okay. So I think I want to use the, nice work, David Hall. Look at all these people following along. It's so nice. I should probably turn off. So how much time do I have here? Let me make a list of stuff that I want to do. Like if I think about what my Twitter bot examples used to do. Sorry. This is from my Program of A to Z course last year, in week 4 Twitter. So I guess it's useful to show, it's definitely useful to show how to like, reblog, and reply. I think that's what I'll go for next. And then how to do an image. Okay, I think that makes sense. So we need the streaming. So I need to use the stream. So I think what I want to do also is duplicate this. So let me close all these files. It's 4 o'clock. I don't have a ton of time left, but I would like to get a little further. Oh, it's just... okay, what am I doing here? Let's make a folder called Mastodon. Let's put Mastodon bot in there. Let me call it bot 1. And then let me just duplicate it. Oh, I'll mention this. I totally forgot to put node modules in the git ignore. So now, let me go here, close this. So now I have both of these. This doesn't change. This I can get rid of. All right, this is fine. Bot.js. Okay, I guess I'll leave the code as is. Well, that's bot 1. I'm such a doofus. This one is 2. This one is 1. And here we go. Okay. Okay. Seems like I should have more space here. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm ready for the next phase of this. And, oh, streaming API. That's what I need to. Remember how I streaming dash user. Okay. 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 And I think, actually, is this? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Oh, whoops. Come on. All right. I'm ready. I can do that. I've got a half an hour here. I can definitely do this next piece. Okay. All right, everybody. Here we go. Hello. All right. I'm still working with Mastodon, and what I'm going to do in this video now is I'm going to take the sample bot that I made, and instead of just on a timer every 24 hours, every 60 minutes, I happen to post something, I toot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the streaming API. The streaming API is a way for me to, in real time, listen for events. And the particular kind of events that I'm going to listen for are what's known as user events. So a user event, and we'll see all the different kinds, is anytime that I might get a notification or somebody that I follow might post something, or anytime that I might anyway, there's lots of things that come in user events, and these are the good ones to use, because if you're using your user event as a bot, you're sort of making sure that your bot only engages with people who are opting in, and this is pretty important. You don't want your bot just randomly spamming people and favoriting random things or replying to random people who haven't really asked to engage with your bot. So you're going to want to make sure that your bot follows the code of conduct and the terms of service of bots in space. I'll show you where you can find that. But typically, a good way to think about it is just like if somebody is mentioning the bot, then you're welcome to reply to them. If somebody follows you, then you're also welcome to engage with that person as the bot programmer. Okay, so let's go over and look at the streaming API. And let me actually go to bots in space about. Okay. So before I start using the streaming API, let me just point out to read the information page with the code of conduct and also the terms of service. If you're choosing to host your bot on botsin.space, you're going to want to make sure you follow the rules of the space. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to start using the streaming API. So the way that I do that, and we can find it here, remember this is the node package that I'm using, Mastodon-API, and this is basically what I want to do. I want to create a listener, and whenever there is a message, I want to take a look at and do stuff, act upon that message. So let's actually do exactly this. I'm going to keep the error one in here as well. I'm just going to copy paste this into my code. I'm going to comment out this auto posting thing that I had before about the meaning of life. I'm just going to put this here. And actually what I want to do now is I want to use my little trick. Instead of just console logging the message, if you remember a little trick that I did in a previous video is I used write file. So I want to write files out so I can look at what kind of messages I'm getting. Whoops, where have I gone? And so let me uncomment this out. And I do want to put like a timestamp also here. So it would make sense for me to say like data, and then actually the message probably has a timestamp built into it, but I can also like JavaScript timestamp. I think it's just like new date get time. Yeah, so I can say new date get time. I think this is right. So again, you can put with template literals, I can put a whole string to evaluate, a whole line of code to evaluate it, in essence, inside that area. Okay, so let's see if this works. I don't know. What's going to happen? Let me see. Am I in the right place? No. Sorry, I made a new folder, so I'm going to release these examples separately. And I'm going to run this bot. And now, okay, so I don't know if it's working because I don't know if I've gotten any notification. Maybe somebody watching this live is going to favorite something or mention my bot. That would be nice, right? And then something would come in through here. I kind of think that maybe there was actually a mistake in the Mastodon API's documentation. Because I have a memory when I tried doing this earlier that the event was not message, but MSG, short for message. Let's be sure about this. Oh wait, no. Okay, so look at this. Somebody did. So Mathieu, that is correct. So you can edit out go from when I was sitting there waiting to edit to now. Oh, I did get a message from somebody, but I made some sort of mistake. Data is not defined. Okay, because oh yes. It's called, the variable name is MSG for message, which is why I was thinking that, I guess. So it should be MSG here. Okay, let's try this again. And actually, I'm just going to take this out, and I'm just going to write console.log user event. All right, everybody, are you watching? Are you giving me some user events? Here we go. Waiting for my user events. User event. Let's get a bunch more. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I think that was enough user events. Thank you very much. Let's go back. And we can see here that I have all of these data.json files for all of these events. So I can kind of click through them and see what kind of events. I'm hoping that the kind people of the internet are not spamming me with horrible things. By the way, if you don't want your information appearing up here, maybe don't. But these are just people's Mastodon accounts. So we can see this was a follow event. It's an event of notification. It's a type follow. Oh, so let's do this right now. Let's respond to that. So what we're going to do, hold on a sec, pause, blow my nose. So the first kind of event we got here is a follow event. So if the event is a notification of type follow, we could act on that. So let's do that. Let's go back to our code. And I'm going to say, right here, I'm going to not write these out anymore. If message dot, what was it again? Message dot event equals notification. And I think there's going to be different kinds of notifications. So I'm going to say then if message dot data dot type follow, then what I want to do is I want to get the user name. So let me get the user name. And that would be where? It would be right there. And actually, I want the account. The username is useful, but you always on Mastodon need both the username and the instance, the address of the instance, the host name. So let me grab account equals message.data.account. And then the other thing that I'm pretty sure that I need is the ID, maybe. 7670, that's the account ID. This is the, I don't know if this is the ID of the event, I guess. So I want that account ID. So I'm going to say constant ID equals message.data.id. Oh, .account. I forgot about account. I'm also message.data.account.id. .account.account, and then .account.id. And then I want to send a message. So how do I do that? Just with this nice m.post. So here's the thing. Maybe I want to make this quote unquote toot function a bit more generic. And I'm just going to give it I'm going to pass in a status. So I'm going to get rid of the random number stuff, which was from before. And then I'm going to just put, this is a little confusing, but I'm going to take whatever I pass in, and then here is, and then I'm going to post that. So now I have a function that I can basically say, toot, and I can say, I'm going to use at message.data.account, right? This is me referencing the person that followed me. Thank you for the follow. And I'll just say choo-choo. Welcome aboard. Oh, that's a train theme. Welcome aboard. Okay, so we can see it'll say welcome aboard. Now here's the thing. I really should also, if I go back to the API, this one, I should probably say in reply, and that's a reply to the status, because I don't need, it's not in reply to a specific status, so this is actually fine. I think as long as I just mention that, I'm done. So, so let me go, I've lost my code. Let me come back, I think I'm good. So now, I think that I have everything I want. So let me just put the listen on error up here. So now I'm listening for a message. If the message is a notification of a follow, then I will toot back to the person their account name and say welcome aboard. And let's see how this goes. I look forward to all of you now. You can unfollow and follow if you already followed, but let me run it first. And here we go. Oh, okay, I have a status. I have a mistake here. So I'm just going to change this variable name to like txt or content. Let me make it content. Because I don't like having the same name everywhere. It's confusing, but there should be no semicolon after there. Okay, here we go. Welcome aboard! Welcome aboard! Welcome aboard! Okay, so you can see a bunch came in, and now I can go back here, and I can go to here, and we can see, look at this. These are all the people who have now, and if I click there, we can see where it's showing me and going to these people's accounts. Yay! So we now have a bot that responds to follows. Pause for a second. Oh, right, I'm such a doofus. Almost my nose is running. Allergies, I think. Okay. Alka from the chat pointed out something here. What did I do? Oh, the whole point of me making this variable was so that I don't have to write this all out here. I don't know why I did that. So I can just do this. This will make it much more readable. And I actually don't need the ID, so I can take that out. So this is all I need. So we are done. All right, so this is follow. Now, I'm going to show you something in the next video. I think I'm going to take a break. And in the next video, I'm going to look for messages that mention the bot. And then I'm going to have that bot act on those, either reply to them or favorite or do something like that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. Someone is mentioning, okay. All right. I'm missing a semicolon. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Okay. What's this delete message? Favorite. How do I get I want to mention. Here we go, type mention. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. I look over the chat, it's a message about C# versus C++, Python, Java. You think everybody's watching a completely different live stream that is not me on it. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm back again. Oh, so many Mastodon videos. What I want to do is look at how I can deal with a mention. A mention is when somebody else posts, and mentions me, the bot, in their message post. So, and this will come in as a notification event type mention. Before, I dealt with, if I look at my code, in the previous video, I dealt with anything that is a follow. So now I want to say else if message data.type equals a mention. So I want to deal with a mention. So what I'm going to do in this example is if somebody says, please like or favorite or something like that, I will like or favorite. If someone says, please boost or reblog, I will boost/reblog. So I'm basically going to respond. I'm not going to toot back, but I'm going to act on the message based on what the content is. So the first thing that I might want to do is I could use a regular expression. So for example, I could say regular expression 1 is, and if you don't know about regular expressions, I'd refer you to my session on regular expressions. If like or favorite, or maybe the heart emoji. How do I get emoji? Hold on, there's a way to do the emoji keyboard. No? How do I get it on with the touch bar? Can I just get the touch bar to? No, whoa, that's weird. Hold on. Emoji, touch bar, Mac. How do I make it happen? This is really good, useful. Oh, if I do something like this, will it just pop up? No, because it's got to be like in email or something. Mac, emoji keyboard. Command Control spacebar. That's what I was looking for. No. Hey, there we go. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, all right. All right, I can make this regular expression. I can say like or favorite, or like maybe if somebody uses a heart. I don't know, is this the regular heart? This is the regular heart, I think. So now I basically want to look, so what is the content? So I need to look at, this is the mention. I want to look at the data.status.content. Okay, so I need to say content equals data.status.content, and I want to say if regular expression test content. So I'm pretty sure this is a function that if I have a regular expression, if the regular expression is matched somewhere within that string content, this will return true. So if that's the case, I want to say m.post, and then what? So I need to go back and look at the API documentation because I want to favorite it. So if I go back here and say look under favorite, the path to favorite is statuses, the ID, and favorite. So I need to say post to, and so this is what I was doing when I want to post something. I would actually just say statuses slash, and I want to make this a template literal once again. I need to put the ID in here, favorite. Okay? So this is me, if it matches, favorite it. And then I need to get the ID. So the ID is under data status ID. That's perfect. Data status ID. And then there aren't any parameters that I need here, so I can just go straight to the callback, error, data, and I can make a little function here, and I can say, you know, if error, console log, console error, error, else console log favorited. And presumably, this is going to look a lot like this, I would imagine. Favorited ID. So let me just do data.id. I'm guessing, so just to like have a little more information in here. Favorited data dot, and by the way, this is message, message.data, message.data. And this is favorited data.id. Okay, so let's see here. What's wrong? Something is terribly wrong. I'm out of whack in terms of my brackets and things. So, oh, this also needs a end tick. There we go, and now a semicolon. Okay, so apologies that this is hard to see here. Let me see if I can, let me move this over, give myself a little bit more space so we can look at this code. Ah! Hi. Okay, ah! Let me just make the font a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, if it's a follow, we're just going to say thanks for the follow. If it's a mention, we're going to see, did the mention use the word like, favorite, or heart? If it did, favorite it, and then give me some information about whether it worked or not. So probably I also should do something like, say, console.log, just in case, just so I can see what the message has. I'm going to say console.log a mention ID, and then add content. Okay, we are going to run this. Whew. Okay, what did I lose? Something weird happened here. I also need this. Oh boy. Template literal, come back. Oh, I tried to reformat all this stuff. Oh, so sad. Hold on. We're going to get this back. There we go. Okay, we're good again. There we go. Here's our code. We got it. If you mention me, check to see if you said like, favorite, or heart. And if so, I am going to favorite it. All right. Here we go. Let's run this bot. See if we have any errors. Okay, it's starting. All right. Better start mentioning me. Try mentioning me with a heart, with a like, with saying favorite, or not. I will just wait. Whoa, what's going on? This isn't right. Ah, something bad is happening. So, okay, my console logging is crazy. Oh, what happened here? Did I put a breakpoint in by accident? I did not mean to do that. Now, what is going on? Okay, hold on. All right, I got some weird errors here. Am I getting an error? Favorited undefined. Hold on. Stop, everybody. Well, first let me see if this is working. Okay, so it doesn't look like I am favoriting this. So something definitely went wrong. And what is this crazy console log that's coming out here? Okay. We got to debug this without me with some actual mention ID content. So is that coming out? Mention ID content. Then I'm getting favorited, undefined, and what is this insanity? Oh, oh, something horrible happened. Ugh. Because when I hold on. Oh, this is so annoying. Hold on. This is ridiculously annoying. This shouldn't ever be happening. How is this? Oh, because this is a, no. It's favorite in the docs with the U. Yeah. But why is this happening? Just run this one more time. I'm waiting for somebody to mention me again. For a second I thought I froze. It's nice that the stream didn't freeze today. All right. Mention. Okay, this mentioned me. Oh, there was a heart there. Try mentioning me with just the word like. Line 38. Oh, so favorite's what's wrong. It needs to be with a U. That's interesting. Okay. I love kittens. I didn't use love. Favorite. Oh, and I didn't use I for. Okay, great. So this one tried to. I like turtles, but it's not going to work. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Okay, so by the way, weird, awkward edit point because it didn't work. Some weird stuff happened, but I have now discovered through the thankful, helpful people in the chat that I have a few errors here. So number one is, let's go back to the API for a second, and we can see here that I didn't pay close attention. It's actually spelled with a U here, ID favorite. So this seems kind of important that I spell it correctly. So let me fix that here. Oh, but that's not actually the important place. The important place is here. And then a couple other things. I want to use a flag for I for a case insensitivity. In other words, you can, and also the U should be optional here. That doesn't really matter. So U is optional. So you can say like, favorite. Still not sure if this is the right kind of heart that normally, but now this should fix that I should now actually be favoriting things. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to run this bot again, and I'm going to wait. Oh, line 38, someone's telling me. What's wrong with line 38? No, I want the ID of the thing of this event. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see. I don't know. Oh, look. So this appears to be working. Okay, so we can see, why are my settings not being retained on this computer? All right, just give me a second here. Where is that thing where it doesn't, yes, here we go. Okay. All right, good. All right, so, okay, I'm back. A lot of people mentioned me. Let's go take a look at the actual timeline. We can see that it is favoriting, and we are getting an ID out. You can see that this ID is different than this ID, and some people are asking me about that. Let me mention that in the chat in a second. But let me go here. So you're my favorite. How come it didn't? There we go. I just had to refresh. So we can see this got favorited because it has favorite in it. This got favorited because it has a heart. This got favorited because it has the word like. I'm looking for one that doesn't have, this must have been from a while ago when it wasn't working. But we can see here now, please clap. So please, mention me without using like, favorite, or heart to make sure that also works. I'm just going to wait. We'll edit this waiting part out. It's 4:30. Okay, I'm back, and we can see here that Kay Weekman wrote coding train bot choo choo, and if I refresh this page, it was not favorited. So it is working, only now it should be only if, and if I go back to the code, only if this regular expression matches will I favorite. All right, and by the way, we could really quickly now just also there's probably a nicer way to do this, but I'm just going to really quickly copy paste this whole thing, and I'm going to say boost or reblog or retweet even, or let's get another emoji in here. Control Option. Let's see if you use a train emoji, or if you use the train emoji, then we will reblog. So now, if I quickly run this again, I'll make this regex2. If regex2, and I don't need to get the content or the ID anymore, and I don't need this again. So now this is just, and it probably makes sense for me to actually put this up. Actually, they could both happen. So here now, this will boost anyone that says boost, reblog, retweet, or the train. And Miller mentioning this is a mistake here. So this data.id, this is actually, this is the ID of the actual favorited action, which every action has an ID. So if somebody messages, that mention has an ID, which I captured up here. So, but this is the ID of the actual act of favoriting it. So I don't know, debugging wise, I don't know what's more important to display. I could display both of them. But you'll see those are two different things. And this should say reblogged, and this should say favorited. So let's now do this, and here we go. Everybody, you can now ask to be favorited or reblogged. All right, a lot of mentions came in. You can see some things are being favorited and reblogged. Some things are just being reblogged. Let's go take a look at the timeline. And Let's look at this. Did you know, oh yeah, I love trains, this got boosted. Coding train bot, that got boosted. And this one, reblog this, I want the followers like it too. And we got both a reblog and a like. Hooray! Okay, so this works. We now have a bot that, that just checks for follows, mentions, and follows and mentions. If somebody follows, it toots back, welcome aboard to that account. And if somebody mentions and uses any of these keywords, it either favorites or reblogs. So the thing that I didn't do, which I should add to this, I guess I'll do it. I don't know if it really makes sense to just keep doing more videos about this, but I'll do another video where I'll add this. But you might want to try this as an exercise. What about actually replying? What about posting an actual reply back to the person? So if the person asks, "What is the meaning of life?" then the bot replies with a random number, or something like that. Okay, so give that a try. I'll add that, but I'll do that in the next video. Okay, goodbye. All right, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna just finish off this last little piece. So let's see. I really should go. I'm just so amazed that this hasn't crashed. I was really expecting the stream to crash, especially because of the weird beeping happened. Who knows? Who knows? All right. I'm getting a lot of mentions. All right. Let's just finish this off. Let's do this last one. That's awesome. Okay, thank you, CherneyKH, for this. All right. Here we go. Hello, welcome to video number 7,629 about Mastodon bots. I have been on a journey along the tracks of Mastodon. And I've started from nowhere, and I have arrived to the point where I have a bot. It's called Coding Train Bot. And what this bot does, if you follow the bot, it says, "Welcome aboard." And if you toot at the bot and use a certain keyword, it will favorite or retoot, boost, whatever it is, your particular post. And I want to add one more thing to it. So I want to be able to respond to a question. So let's just say I'm going to look for any post at me that ends with a question mark. This is going to be tricky because there's the HTML tags in it. I'm just going to look for a question mark. I'll let you make this fancier. So let's add one more check. I'm going to constant regex3. I'm just going to look for a question mark. So, question mark is a meta character. So I think I might have to do this. / question mark, or so I want to look for a question mark if regex3 matches the content. And by the way, this is by the way this is like the very basics of making a chatbot, which is just doing like basic pattern matching. Now chatbot systems use machine learning and try to categorize what people are saying into intents and do all sorts of text analysis. But at a core level, you could just use regular expressions to try to match what somebody's saying and respond accordingly. And if you, I do have a set of videos about RiveScript, which is a pattern matching utility that you can use in any programming, a number of programming languages, but you can use it in JavaScript to build your own chatbot. So this is, interesting to think about what do you want your bot to actually do. But in this case, I'm just going to use regular expressions. I'm going to look for a question mark. So let me just actually make sure this works. I'm going to say I got a question. And let me look at the content. So I think I'm going to not always console log the content anymore. I know that's working. So I just want to, now I want to just look at it. Console log data, what was it called? Did I put it in a variable? Content. So I'm just going to look at the content. So I am now going to run this. You know, by the way, if you're doing this on your own, you're going to want to have a second Mastodon account where you can then test it. I am a weird, crazy person who does this sort of stuff on a live stream, apparently. I just assume that the people out in the world watching will interact and hopefully be kind. Okay, now let us run it again. Let's see if we can get some mentions with a question mark in them and see if, oh, there we go. Okay, so I got a question. Okay, ooh. That's interesting. Oh, I got a question. No, that's not what somebody said to me. Why? With a question mark. Okay, so that seems to be working. So I'm going to assume that that's good. Thank you for that. And now what I want to do is I want to say, I want to create, a reply. So I'm going to say a reply equals the meaning of life is, and I'm going to use this, oh, I had this from before by accident, luckily, is num. And then I want to just send that reply. But here's the thing, a couple things. One is I want to mention that person. So I did that before when somebody followed me. So I can do @ and then the account, which I should still have. I didn't actually save the account. So if somebody mentions me, where do I get the account? Data, account, account. It's the same thing. So I can actually go back, message data account. I think I kind of like always want this. So whether it is a follow or a mention. So whoops. So I'm going to put this out here. So I have access to that account. Sorry that the font got smaller here. Hopefully you can still read it. So I want to first mention that account, and then say them. But here's the thing. You can mention, but it's not going to actually understand it as a threaded reply unless I include in reply to ID. So I actually also need to get the ID, which I have here, message data status ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overload this function with a second argument, ID, and I'm going to say in reply to, we got to look at the documentation. I don't remember what it is. But if I look here, oh, it's actually over here. In reply to, or reply to. Oh no, I'm in the wrong place. Oh, I'm totally in the wrong place. I was in the right place before. In reply, there we go. I'm looking for in reply to ID. So I want to grab this. And I want to put this here, and then I want to put in the ID. And I guess what I want to do is, the thing is, I'm going to do it this way. This is a little goofy. This probably could use some fancy ternary operator or something, but I'm just going to say, if ID exists, then I'm going to add it. params.inReplyToID equals ID. So it's not going to, it's based on whether or not, if I send into this function, I'm always going to send into this function some content that I want to toot. But if there's an ID, I also want to add that in. So now we should be good. If somebody asks a question, we are now replying with at that person. Oh, and this should have an at. At that person. Did I do that up here? Yes, at account. So at account, the meaning of life is, and then the number. Okay, here we go. Let's actually run this. You can now ask me your questions, and I will wait. All right, I'm back, and a bunch of people, or at least two, I got two mentions. So if I go back now and look at my bot account, hopefully it's not too spammy. Are you for real? And then we look at this, we can see the meaning of life is 40. And this one has a question like this. Yes, we can see the meaning of life is 65. And I'm just curious if somebody, I was looking for one that also has the So this one, for example, some fake Dan Schiffman. This one was both favorited and boosted and replied to. So this bot will actually do all of the things. It is now a bot. Oh, look at this. I'm just going to favorite this manually. By the way, everyone should look at Alka's Pannable Lisa Zhu table. It's wonderful. I will be releasing my Lisa Zhu coding challenge video very soon. And here you go. So this is it. We have now finished this up. We now have made a bot. We've seen how a bot can post periodically with set interval something, and you might come up with an idea of what you want to do. We have now seen how a bot can favorite or boost things and reply to things. So now it's time for you to be creative. What kinds of replies, what kinds of activity? Maybe you have a bot that makes up a poem. I haven't shown you how to generate an image and post it, so I will show you that. I've got to make a video to show you how to do that. But there's all sorts of wonderful possibilities of how you can make your automated bot use it on Mastodon at botsin.space. Okay, so choo-choo everybody. See you in a future video. I hope you enjoyed this series about making a Mastodon bot. More to come in the future, I'm sure. Goodbye. All right. Come on. Come back. Yeah, an undefined one would probably would be fine. Amiyai Emsumi made a good point. I imagine an undefined in reply to ID would be allowed to mean there isn't one. So I probably didn't need that extra step, but I did do it. All right. So this bot is, I wonder if I should deploy this bot somewhere so that people who watch the videos can interact with it. But it hit 42. Where? Oh, there we go. So, can I desktop? There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, everyone. This, by the way, is my, I am now on Mastodon at Schiffman@choochoo.space. Again, unfortunately, right now I am leaving choochoo.space closed for YouTube members or patrons, and I would gladly open that up. Sorry, open that up if it makes sense to do that at some point. All right, anyone have any questions they want to ask? I think I'm finished for today. It's almost 5 o'clock. You could deploy it on the same box choochoo.space instance on. Exactly, that's what I'll do. Maybe I should do that real quick right now. I'm afraid to log into that instance ever. All right. Anybody, anything else to say, to do, to wonder? Let me do something right now. Because I have so many videos now. I'm going to go here. Most recently, this style transfer video posted. Let me go here and post the next one. So I would love people to try out the style transfer thing and see if you're able to follow it. The second style transfer video, part 2. Let me just check this to make sure. I'm going to post that one now. So in a moment, I'm releasing, I don't have the YouTube Premiere thing unlocked in my account. I really want to get that unlocked in my account because I think it'll be fun to interact live the first time a video is posted, even though it's like the second time because I already did in a live stream, but you know. So I'm going to set part 2 public. And I'm going to say actions, public. I understand that I can't undo. And now we should see here just released on the channel, pending. Nope. Come on, YouTube. Eitan asks, will you explain how style transfer works in more technical terms? If you are interested in that, you should check out, let me show you where to find this. I don't know why it's like taking a million years to set this video to public. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, it was successful. So now, part 2 should, well, hold on, let me just, it'll appear eventually. I'm gonna go to playlists on my channel, and I'm going to go to this one. And here. So this is the full playlist right now of the machine learning videos using the Spell platform. And this is my introduction to the Spell platform. This is the style transfer video of how to train your model, style transfer model. And this is the style transfer video of how to actually run the style transfer model in the browser with ML5.js, which runs on top of TensorFlow.js. But Eitan in the chat had asked about explaining style transfer in more detail. I would refer you to, so both of these, you can see this is about 50 minutes. These are edited out of the 1 hour, 26-minute live stream, just to give people sort of streamlined versions of the videos if they just want to follow the tutorials. But if I go to the live stream, and if I go to the description, sorry, this is like, oh, this is working now. Never forget the this.t-shirt. I'll refactor that later. I've got some new t-shirts and things. If I go to the description, is what I'm looking for, show more. Yes, this. At 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
This is where Yining begins her presentation. And in this presentation, I can just put it quickly on like speed, hold on, speed 2 times. So this is where she gives her presentation, where she talks through the details behind where style transfer comes from and how it technically works and how that's training. So all of the number 1 and 2, what is style transfer and how does it work, you'll find here. Numbers 3 and 4 have been edited into shorter videos, okay? So that's where you can find that information. And please, I'm really curious, this is like high degree of difficulty stuff to like train a model, to deploy training that model into the cloud, to then get the trained model, to run it in the browser. If you're able to get it to work, please share with me and let me know. On Twitter or Mastodon, I guess, I don't know where. If you're not able to get it to work, let me know, try to send a message, post a comment, and we'll see if we can help you out. To get it to work. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I will be back on Friday. On Friday, you will see if I go to YouTube Coding Train, you will see that on Friday we will be doing another neural network machine learning training live stream, this time at 11 a.m. Eastern, I think that's when we set it for. Text generation. So we're going to use something called a long short-term memory network, training it on the cloud with you can train it on a corpus of text and then run the model to have that model generate new text in the same vein as what it's been trained on. So that will be something that we will show, and guest Nabil Hussain will be here on Friday to show how to do that. All right, thank you everybody. I will leave you. Thanks for tuning in to today's special coding train about Mastodon and all that stuff. Hopefully you found this useful and interesting. Stay tuned. Hopefully maybe even tomorrow, the Lisa Zhu coding challenge will come out. And as always, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. I hope you're finding this enjoyable and interesting and useful. And if not, that's okay too. I would completely understand. I'm here for your feedback. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on Friday for sure, okay? You know what I need? I need a second ukulele. I'm just gonna buy another ukulele, because I can't bring it back and forth from home to here, and I need to play the ukulele more in this live stream. So somebody recommend, now that I know that I love the ukulele, I don't necessarily, I bought like the cheapest one they had at the Guitar Center. So I'll take recommendations. Could I get like a Coding Train themed rainbow like ukulele? Maybe that's a thing. All right. Was it Aki MC who hacked the bot? That's great to hear. Goodbye, everybody. I feel like doing a twirl first. Better than this. Yeah, no green in the ukulele, please.